I help people feel better. I help people do more in their lives. And I help people live better lives.
Passion, as we say, is that fuel that enable you to jump through hoops of flames of fire, jump rope and chew gum at the same time. Passion is fuel, the purpose to enable you to cross the finish line or to finish what you start.
Focus on the end result that you want. What if I could feel better today? Even if you don't tap, if you just ask the questions, what if I can feel better today?
You take hope and perseverance and you put that together. At the end of the day, it's going to be a success story.
Anybody, right? I mean, anybody can literally achieve the dream of home ownership in a 5-year plan, right? It starts today.
Attack the immediate tasks before you. And when I speak of attacking, what I'm trying to get you to consider is the idea that we need to take action.
So when you're not feeling good, you simply note it and know that you're focused on what you don't want, and you get to choose. You can be intentional, choose what do you want to focus on.
And so the word no is one of the most important words you can ever say, and yet it's so hard. If I say no to you, I am literally affirming myself. I'm giving myself permission to do me.
I'm saying the answers you need are within you, not without you. But you have to do what each one of the speakers have been asking you to do. Trust yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am excited to introduce my next guest. Nikki, I hope now you're ready. Nikki, the speaker. Okay, you're gonna mute yourself and help me pronounce your name. Is it Gangemi?
Perfect. You had it the first time.
Gangemi.
Gangemi. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Stone.
Nikki was one of those people that received an email. I did a call for speakers on Facebook, and I also did a call via email asking for people to speak. And I went into different groups and I said, hey, I'm doing the first bounce back. Does anybody want to speak? And was looking for speakers. And she missed the email. Do you know that she just didn't sleep on it and say, hey, the deadline is gone, so it's okay. I'm not going to reach out to her. No, she wrote an email and said, I don't know. I guess I was just busy or something. I really wants to be a part of this. Is there any way that I can still be a part of? So when I first planned it, I just wanted probably 4 or 5 speakers that would come in so that we can have something that would just say, hey, we did it, we started, right? But I thought, hey, why not? I said, you know what? I don't have any cap on, who can come or not. I can block off an hour, 2 hours, but now that you're coming on, we're going to block off 3 hours if you're still interested. She's like, yes, I am interested. So let me tell you a little bit about her before she comes on. She's going to talk to us about the CALM method, CALM. I have to spell it out because sometimes this accent gets in the way of me pronouncing the words right. And this CALM method is helpful for you to live from a place of possibility instead of circumstance. I'm interested to hear about that. She's a certified law of attraction coach. You must have coached Barbara because Barbara came winning today. She's definitely a law of attraction practice, person. Nikki's a speaker. She's the founder of Mindful Matters LLC. She helps professionals and entrepreneurs confidently move forward in life, business, and getting to their next level of success with more ease. Through mindset performance, personal development, and leveraging universal laws, Nikki will guide clients to establish and attain realistic goals for themselves and transform burnout into positivity and positive energy so that they gain a sense of resilience in continuing on a newer, more productive path. I want to welcome Nikki to the stage.
Thank you, Dr. Stem. Thank you, everybody. I have to say, I'm like bouncing in my seat because I want to get up and move. I mean, the energy in this room is really amazing, and how aligned all of us are. I have been taking notes myself, like Andrell has said, and words that stood out to me that really go along with what I'm about to share with you. Dr. Reese talking about potential. We are all so much more capable than we give ourselves credit for, right? And we do have everything that we need inside of us. Being intentional, that is so, it's also a key in really choosing what you want to put your focus on. Jennifer Sutton talking about opening up to possibility. I love that. And being curious about what you want. And Andrell, just what you were saying about yielding, like the why in stay, yielding and slowing down, it's okay. And that's what I'm going to be sharing in my calm method, because I do encourage all of us. It's okay to put a pause on things, especially when you notice that you're moving in the wrong direction and you might be feeling in a negative way. So I actually came up with the calm method during the pandemic. I was supposed to do a goal success workshop for someone. And she goes, you know what, Nikki, my team right now, they cannot focus on their goals. They are just so upset with what's going on, the fear, the anxiety, everything. Can you create something and talk about inspiration? I said, okay, I have to make a pivot now. What am I going to do? I went to sleep. I said, I'm going to sleep on it. I woke up and in my mind was the word calm. And I go, oh my God. Conscious. So here's the acronym. When do you use the calm method? You use the calm method anytime that you notice that you are feeling stressed, frustrated, scared, worried, disempowered, anything that we can label as negative, right? And so the first step is to become conscious of how you're feeling. I always recommend that you pay attention to your emotions and how you're feeling, because it's a whole lot easier than picking up on some of the thoughts that we have, right? Because we have so many a day. Neuroscience says somewhere between 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. And most of those thoughts are negative. Now, the interesting thing is that if you've had the same negative thoughts day in and day out, they become like almost like a piece of the background. You know how in your home you've got things and you don't even notice them anymore? Maybe it's a picture frame or because it's just always there, so you don't even see it. And it's the same thing with our thoughts. Sometimes we don't even hear the negative thoughts because we've thought them so much. But you will always know how you feel. And I love the teachings of Abraham and how, you can use your emotions as your guidance system. So when you're not feeling good, you simply note it and know that you're focused on what you don't want, and you get to choose. You could be intentional, choose what do you want to focus on. So again, the first step is become conscious of how you're feeling. The second step, the A, is to become aware. Tune in and become aware of the thoughts that are causing you to feel that emotion. A thought will always precede a feeling. Always. So become curious. I love, what Jennifer said about being curious. We tend to be our own worst enemy. We are so hard on ourselves, but rather than berate yourself like, oh, there I go again, I just can't seem to handle things, whatever, getting into story, instead just become curious, like, that's interesting. I notice I'm feeling a little stressed right now. I'm a big advocate of pen to paper. So if you can put those thoughts on paper, so it's like out of your mind onto paper, and then ask, like put your thoughts on trial, ask, are these thoughts true? Are they facts? Or are they beliefs? Or is it possibly a projection? Am I projecting something that I'm afraid of? And most times it's not a fact. Most time our thoughts are it's programming. It's just stuff that we tell ourselves. And if it's not true, you can also ask, if this is not true, then whose belief is it? If it's not mine, whose is it? We've adopted so many beliefs from our parents, teachers, society, things we see in the media. And I just want to say that you get to choose what you want to hold as your belief or not. So always ask and know that you always have choice. So that's the A. The L is to lean into what else is possible. What's another option? So if the thoughts you're writing down, if you decide that they are not true, well, then what is true? And start like questioning. You know, Jennifer has what if cards. It's like, what if this and what if that? Right. And I would love to use an example just to make it tangible. So I don't know if anybody has anything that they want to use, and we could walk through the calm method really quickly. But just to go back, like, let's just say, you know, you're feeling nervous about something because things are a little uncertain. It's like, okay, interesting. I notice I'm feeling a little bit nervous. Become aware of the thoughts. You know, what are some of the thoughts that are causing the nervousness? Well, I just don't know, you know, if I'm going to get the money's going to come in, or am I going to get this client, or whatever it is. Those thoughts are of course going to cause some anxiety. And then asking yourself, is it a fact or a belief? And then leaning into possible. What's another possibility? Well, what if I meet somebody and they are interested in hopping on a call with me? I mean, look at the room that you're in right now. And I don't know who here is an entrepreneur or not, but there's just so much possibility all around. And if you're not focused on the solution and you're living in the problem, you're not going to be able to see the solution. So start getting into what else is possible. And then the M is make a new choice. So it's like, choose a new thought. What do you want to choose to believe right now? And I love to use the phrase right now in this moment, because you don't really have to commit to something, but you're just saying right now, in this very moment, I choose to let this go. I choose to let this thought go, whatever it is that you want to say. And then you'll notice that you calm down. Whatever that emotion was that you were feeling, you're able to release it a little bit. So now you have access to ideas. You have access to solutions that you didn't before, when, I'll use the words Jennifer used, when you were caught in fight or flight. So anybody want to go through an example perhaps of how you could, because you could use this calm method for anything. For work, you could use it even if you're standing in the grocery store online and you're agitated from something. Maybe somebody's standing too close to you and you start to get like, you know, and you could just, okay, let me go through the 4 steps of calm and take yourself through it. So it could be used for the little things, it could be used for bigger things. But when you make this a practice, you start to program your mind to become present to how you're feeling, the thoughts that are in your mind, leaning into possibility, what are some other options, and then making a new decision so that you don't have to live from circumstance. You get to be empowered. Yes, Dr. Stem.
I'm thinking, what if you do an example of one being with their family? Right now, for the past year, a lot of people are like, do I have to look at you one more time and be around you one more second? So a lot of people are getting irritated and just looking at each other, just like, oh God, okay, because you're not moving, you're not going out, I can't go out. So how do you use the calm method to just bear with each other in the home?
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. So what would you say is the emotion? What label would you give that emotion?
Irritation.
Irritation. Okay.
Frustration.
Frustration. Yeah. And people can put in the chat too what they're thinking.
Yeah. Because then, you know, you're talking to somebody that doesn't even have anybody around in the house, but I'm talking to people that do, and they're irritated and annoyed at each other. So yes, help us with some of those feelings and emotions. Okay.
Okay, good. So irritation, frustration, let's see, suffocation. Mm-hmm. Definitely. And that does
annoyed.
Good. Annoyed. Yeah. And it doesn't feel good, those feelings, right? So the first step is to become aware, become present. I don't remember who said it, but somebody said, like, we always leave our body. Like our mind takes us to so many places, but your body is always there. It's always left there to deal with what's going on. So get back into your body and be present, how you're feeling. Lack of boundaries. I am by myself too, Cheryl. Yeah, school can be a big trigger. I used to teach, former teacher, 15 years until I quit and followed my dream being a coach. So yeah, so you're having these emotions and then thinking to yourself, okay, so what are the thoughts? Like, what exactly are those thoughts that are causing the irritation and the frustration? Anybody just want to call out specific thoughts or put them in the chat?
No boundaries. People don't understand their boundaries. That push you right over the edge.
People don't understand their boundaries. Yes. Anything else? I have to remind myself of that too. You know, I do live alone, so I do have a lot of quiet time, which, you know, could be either way. It could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. But I have to remind myself when I talk to certain people on the phone that maybe don't share the positive outlook that I do, specifically my mom or my grandma. They could be really negative, and I have to remind myself because I'll get triggered. People do the best they can with what they have, with what they know. Some people, they just don't know any better, and that's where they are in that moment. And sometimes that gives me enough of a space to take a breath, to put a lid on that pot of the frustration. Testiness, no space. Yeah, so that's, if these are some of the thoughts that you're having, I just don't have any space. There's constantly somebody around who's talking too loud, who's arguing, right? People being insensitive, there's no empathy. All of these things are going to cause you to feel those emotions that we talked about. So then ask, are these things that I'm telling myself true? Are they facts? Or is it just a belief? Or is it just something that I'm projecting because I'm feeling frustrated right now? Is it true that this person, what I need something more specific to I'm thinking, so this reminds me of somebody I was walking this through who is a coach herself, and she was working from home, of course, but her kids who are away at college were home now too, and they were not respecting her work. They were almost treating it like, well, this is just coaching. This is not really a job. And they would interrupt her. And they had no boundaries. And she was getting really frustrated that my family just doesn't seem to think I have a real job. Okay, is that true? Is that a fact? No, that's my frustration talking. Okay, so then what else? What might be true? Let's lean into what else is possible. Well, I guess they're excited to be around me because usually they're away at college and they don't see me as often. So I think it's great that at least my kids love me and they think I'm a cool mom and they want to be around me and spend time with me. And as she's saying these things, she stopped feeling the resentment and the frustration. Because you, like Jennifer was saying also, you can't hold two states at the same time. So you can't be in frustration and then also be in like appreciation, right? That you do have this gift of a great relationship with your kids. So these are some things that you could say, even the one I said before, that people do the best they can with what they have, that maybe they just don't know any better. You know, and what if I were to communicate how I'm feeling? Just kind of say what's on my mind, but taking personal responsibility and saying it like, I have a feeling of frustration right now, not you're causing me to be frustrated. That's where people's defenses go up, right? I'm experiencing some frustration right now. And then making a new decision, making a new choice. So I don't know if that answered your question, Dr. Stem. I tried to make it as specific as possible, but it's always questioning those thoughts and thinking, you know what, you could even reframe it like there's a lot of people in the house, there's a lot going on. People might be getting frustrated and testy with each other, but let me think of what I do have. I'm thankful that I have a family. There's some people who don't. There's some people who live alone. And I also want to say, because this is coming into my mind, this is not to minimize how you're feeling, right? Never minimize how you're feeling. If you're feeling a certain way, you are, and that's okay. But this is just to take your focus off what you're on. That's causing you to feel a certain kind of way and think like, okay, well, what else? What else is true? Let me move my focus onto something that's going to help me to feel a little bit better. Make sense?
Yes, you got it. You got it. That helps, and I hope with a hands up wave that it helped for everybody too. Yes, awesome.
Good. Awesome.
All right. So is that the end of yours, or that was just to answer my question? I didn't want to answer you.
Yeah, well, those are the 4 steps to calm. And I do have a gift for you, and that is a PDF that has the 4 steps with examples. So you can take yourself through it and you can actually write all of this out. It really helps to put everything on paper. It's like, let me get it out of my mind. Let me look at it. And so I could really see this, like, is this true? What else is true? And start creating a new narrative. And all of those thoughts that you write down for the possibility, like leaning into possibility, put those on repeat, because beliefs are just thoughts we keep thinking. So start telling yourself healthier thoughts repetitively, and eventually you adopt them as new beliefs.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And guess what? I want to thank you for that, Nikki. That was beautiful. Yes. Let's give her a hand. Let's give her a hand. Awesome. Awesome. Yes. So it's a good thing that you mentioned that as well. Everyone will be receiving what we call a virtual goodie bag. So in there, you're going to get those PDFs. You're going to get some free ebooks. You're also going to get a bio and information about each of these speakers that, we're here today. You have a great opportunity to work with them, because all of them are also life and career coaches. They are also speakers that I know that many of you that are here also have your own events that you do. My hope is that you will remember hearing some of these speakers here, or all of them, and saying, I know exactly who I can invite or recommend to your hiring boards, and say, we know exactly who we want to bring into our next conference. Promote them, because remember, again, we were talking about possibilities. This is how possibilities come to pass. We talk about each other, we refer each other, we recommend each other, and that's how we come to grow. Because that's one fear that everybody has, that some people that are here and that will be listening to this have their own little small businesses, have their own little dreams or big dreams that they have, but they are afraid that nobody else will be there to buy from them. What happens is, when you attend places like this and you promote one person, they will promote you as well, and the next person promotes the next one, and before you know it, you're looking back at 2020 and all you see are possibilities and not problems.